Good day everyone, thank you for coming to the channel. My name is Jun and I'm a Moe Norman swinger. Today I would like to showcase some of my latest swings and kind of analyze them and kind of go over stuff that I'm doing good, what I'm doing bad, and what I need to work on. So this is a video that I took from August 28th, Friday. And let me go ahead and fast forward. Oh, by the way, this is a training aid from Todd Graves, who is like one of the main leading Moe Norman like teaching guy. And yeah, I really recommend some sort of a training aid. Like a lot of people would have like a like a stick, which is I think is fine, but this one has more functionality than that. So I think if you want to try the Moe Norman swing, you got to be dedicated and committed, and try to help yourself as much as possible with these kind of accessorial stuff or training aids. So let me go ahead and fast forward myself to the address. So that's my address, and there we go. I look at my sky, where Moe always, he say he aims to the sky, never to a specific area, because there's no hazards in the air, up in the sky, right? People would ask, hey Moe, like what do you do if you get in a like a fairway bunker? And Moe's answer is like, I don't know, because I've never been in one. Because he never looks at those stuff as his target. He always just looks at the sky. And he always said he plays by height, and I think that's very revolutionary. I don't think I ever heard anybody else say that except Moe. So anyway, so here's my single plane line where the club aligns with my trailed arm, my right hand right here. And that's the single lever system where it's almost like hammering. It's not almost, it is hammering. You don't have two levers that you have to mess with, just like conventional swing. So let me go ahead and kind of go through. Let me just kind of play the swing first. So that was the kind of swing. Now let me go ahead and take it back. And by Moe's definition, he said that his swing is in and up. So the first step, it goes in and it goes up. So let me see how that happens here. So there's my initial step. So it is in, where my hands are below the line, but it is not as in as I would like it to be. And as I continue, like right here, see this distance away? It's not that wide. Like Moe's distance was much wider than that. And that shows how much in he was. But, he gets parallel underneath the line. And again, his distance away is much wider than this. And because mine wasn't as wide, as my swing continues, I'm going to go over that line, which is something I don't like. I mean, this was a really, really flush contact. It was a ball first hit. It sounded like a rocket, and he went straight as hell. But afterwards, looking at this swing, I was dissatisfied and disappointed with 600 balls I hit that day. And yeah, I need to kind of do something to kind of like, be more like Moe, which is my whole target and purpose right now. But anyways, as my swing goes through, so around there, yeah, right there is like the end of my backswing, because you can kind of see my little bump going on here. And then I'm going to come down. And coming down too, I'm too vertical. Like, Moe would already be shallowing, and his club would be already like on the line or below the line. But compared to that, because I ended so high, I'm coming down so high too. So, you see how vertical that is? Yeah, that's not something I'm trying to do. And this is something I'm trying to, I don't want to say repair or fix, but just do it differently to be more like Moe, so that I can be more consistent as Moe. But coming down, see, it's above the line. Is this over the top? Maybe. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say this is over the top, because the motion of over the top is not like this. At least I'm kind of having the, kind of the shallowing effect going on. So I wouldn't necessarily call this over the top. And right now, there's the whole OTT swing that's kind of like taking over the golf industry from what I see. And I would like to take a chance later to kind of analyze that and compare that to Moe as well. Anyways, as my swing goes through, see how my hands come back on the line? And see now my club and everything is coming back on the line? And boom, there's the impact. So the impact is exactly where I dressed. And that is, definition of the Moe Norman swing, or single plane swing. And yeah, if you guys can see, this was a ball first contact, and then the turf or ground after. So it was a pure shot, so. And then going through, here's my front swing. So on the front swing, you can see how my club exits relatively parallel. So that is a good thing. But the bad thing is my shoulder line is completely off compared to that, you see. So my shoulder isn't parallel. What does that mean? It means I don't have enough side tilt. So, if I were more tilted, as Moe was, like, he exits like perfectly parallel. And his ass stays on the line too. The initial line, I didn't draw it here, but, like Moe's swing is just so perfect. I just can't rave about it enough. But anyways, as I go through, and here's my finish. So, like right now, what I can say is that my swing kind of resembles more of Bryson DeChambeau. And let me go ahead and pull Bryson on here. He downloaded his swing as well. I believe it's this one. Oh, no, wait, it's not this one, sorry. It should be this one. Okay, yeah. Ooh, the way this video took is not that good. Let me go ahead and pull another one. Good thing I took two. Hopefully it's, yeah, there we go. So if you look at Bryson's swing, let me go ahead and draw some lines too. So he is, by definition, Moe Norman swinger, single plane swinger. He knows Moe, and he has definitely been affected by Moe. I guess the biggest thing is that at address, he is just like me. The club line is relatively with the forehand, the trail forearm, and also the biggest thing is that it goes through your mid spine. Mine is a little, well, relatively, so mine's around here. His is around here, and he's a little bit more standing up. But by this, he follows Moe Norman's technique, the single lever hammering system. And if you look at his swing, he goes above the line a lot. And that's where he gets a lot of his power and all that. But you see, takeaway right here, he's very wide. And you see how his hands are going on the line? So unlike Moe, he never went under the line. And that's why, I'm similar in a way, because, I'm a little bit under, but not as under as I would like to be. That's why I go over so much on the top. And if you see Bryson as well, but you see that tilting motion right there? Yeah, his body tilts forward, his left shoulder drops, which is really nice. And that drops because his left knee is coming in. But you see right here already, his hands are already above the line. And he's going to go way above the line. I mean, look at that. And he lifts his left heel, just like old school swingers, Everybody in the old school did this. Bobby Jones, Jack Nicklaus too. And you name it, everyone did it. And how come people don't do this as much as they used to these days? I think golf teaching has changed a lot because of that. Because of, I think Moe, to be honest, but yeah, it's very different today than the old days. But by lifting his left heel, he has created so much tremendous leverage. Look at that leverage right here. Yeah, so look at where his hands are, right? He's more behind too. I'm a little bit more vertical than he. Yeah, so I'm like right here. He's like more behind than that. But nevertheless, mine is above the line, just like Bryson. And that's something I wanna not do. I want to do something else. But just to finish on the Bryson swing, look at that. Look at that craziness. And his hands come back on the line, but the biggest difference is that his hands are behind his shoulders, whereas mine are not. So, again, that's something, I need to, try to do better. And right here, you see how he comes under the line? So this shows tremendous amount of lag that he's holding right now. Like if you come under the line, that just that's how much you're lagging down, which is amazing too. That's why Bryson is hitting like so long, and I would say for his distance, very accurate. You see how his club face is coming behind him. He has his trail arm bent like he's supposed to, and he's coming through for impact. And boom, I guess the video didn't catch the actual impact position, but yeah, you can tell. Like if I had his exact impact position, he would be just like me and just like Mo. His club would be like right there, no doubt in my mind. Yeah, he's a single plane swinger. He follows Moe Norman's technique. And I guess the one thing, his trail foot is rising so much compared to Mo, because Mo would have both of his feet on the ground for stability and power, to be honest, because of that. But he's like already rising up. And then yeah, he goes through. And his front swing, he's parallel again, relatively. So it's a good swing nevertheless. I mean, if I could hit like Bryson too, that would be nice. But yeah. So anyways, I have Chandler White from Moe's Toss Graves Academy on the right. Yeah, I was a gold member for about a year, and I sent a lot of videos to get help. And this is one of the videos to kind of compare and work against. So let me go ahead and draw the single play line. And yeah, I mean, look at this guy. He has a nice body, nice and thin, and he has a really nice address. I wish I were like him on the swing. So let's look at his swing. So you see that? You see how under he goes? You see how under right here? See that? Yeah, that's what I need to do. That's how under I need to go. And then, he goes up. And you see, this is what I meant earlier, the spacing, see? That's where his club is at, parallel, under the line. Whereas mine would be like here. So, that much distance, creates a huge result, or difference in the result on the top of the backswing where, you see? Yeah, he finished it. And his hands are on the initial address line. And it's very laid off, just like Mo. And then he's gonna now come down. You see? Did you see that? The little, see, from here, boom, that right there, the little bump. And he's coming down for impact. And again, see, his club is falling like this way. It's under the line. And like I was saying with the Bryson swing, that's your lag. That's the sign of the leverage that you had created and you're maintaining coming down. And yeah, his hands are on the line beautifully, and his club right there. You see that yellow thing just kind of a little bit disappearing. It's because his club's coming. The trail arm bent and to the side, and it's probably in front of his right hip as well. If I had the face-on view. And then impact. And you see how he's tilted? You see how much he's tilted? Yeah. It's really nice. I'm sure he practiced hours and hours on the top, to have this swing. And look at that. Well, here, let me draw it better. So his club is right here. But look at that in relation to the shoulder angle. It's all parallel. It's on the same plane. Yeah, this guy has a really nice swing. And I wish I could swing like him, and ultimately like Mo. So, on an ending note, let me also bring Moe Norman here. The legend, the best of the best. So yeah, here's Mo. Okay, let me draw the lines. Yeah, so actually, if you look at his address and my address, I thought maybe like mine was a little too high, but I don't feel too bad about that now. Yeah, well, he's a little bit of mid to a little bit slightly high mid. So, yeah, well, I don't think it's a big problem, but anyway, let's go on. Let's see. So Moe Norman, you see that? He goes under the line. See how under he is? Look how much under that is. And again, that's where his club is at. Under parallel, it's that much distance away. If you compare that to mine, it's laughable. You see, mine doesn't even go in as much as Moe. My hands are still relatively on the line. And it's a bit tiny puny space, not even almost. It's like, yeah. So, it's not good enough. And if you see Moe, just like Chandler, yeah, he will go to the top and finish, and his hands will stay on the initial address line. And then, he's gonna go ahead and actually his is a little bit more like, yeah, kind of like above, but still no problem. Everything is on plane. Right there. That's the bump. That's Moe's bump right there. Shallowing bump. And he's gonna come down. Oh my god, look at that. See, in 1 or 2 frames, he's already perfectly back on the line. How beautiful is that? Seriously, Mr. Moe Norman. And yeah, I don't know if you guys can see, but his club is like right here. So he's underneath the line again, just like I was saying with Bryson and Chandler. Yeah, coming in, his club head's right here, and it's going into the ball. That's impact, and he hit it. And look at that. Look how he maintains his spine angle to tilt. I mean, just like Chandler too, but here's the original. Like, look at these 3 lines: the initial line, the address line, initial line, and the front swing line. Everything is on a perfect parallel. Oh man, yeah, that's what I'm shooting for, and I'm still very far from it. But that's the fun part, right? You get to work at it, and you get to try to still chase it. I mean, I don't know if I will be I don't know if I will ever chase Moe in my lifetime, but hell, I'll try dying. Just, yeah, it's better to try. It's like better to have loved than never loved at all, right? So I'll try chasing Moe to death and see what happens. So anyways, that's all for me today. If you have any questions or anything, please let me know. Thank you very much, and have a good one.